So what if this understanding just works for me? And I often get asked, yeah, but you've done a lot of work, so it's kind of, we'll start with NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and then, I'll wait until I have some stuff cleared, and then I'll go into this understanding. Well, these are great questions, because effectively that's how I came to it, I'd done all of this work on myself, and I came to this at a point in my life where I'd done everything, and now it was time for something different. And I often question that, because what if this is the only way it works? And how do I know that? Now, I get that asked too. How do I know that this is the only way it works? How do I know that everything is thought generated? How do I know that it only works from the inside out and can only work one way? Because this is exactly the same question I had. And the reason why I know this works only one way is because of the massive transformation I see not only in myself, but also in my clients as well. For many years, I had an eating disorder, and I did everything that I could to shift it. So I did what I could in the moment. But it's only been recently that I've really noticed that I no longer have any thinking around eating. And it occurred to me the other day that I didn't do anything about it, that I didn't do a process or a technique. I just really have no thinking about it anymore. I eat, and there is no guilt about that at all. And it really hit me, because I was like, whoa, eating lots is now effortless, whereas before I'd sit there going, oh my God, I feel guilty about this and this and this. And I know of another person I know, another client I know, who literally came to this understanding and she stopped smoking. She didn't do a process, she didn't do a technique, she just didn't want it, it didn't make sense to her anymore. Another client I recently worked with, she came across this understanding and she stopped drinking. It no longer made sense to her. And she'd been binge drinking for a long, long time. So it's not just me it works for. And it's not that you have to go through the stages. Well, NLP is where you start, and then you go into this understanding, because the understanding is working there 24/7, whether you like it or not. Just like gravity, it's there. Whether you can see it or not, it's there. But with the same with gravity, you don't need to know how gravity works. You just know it exists, right? Well, the same is true of this. The same is true of knowing and understanding that your state of mind is creating your experience. So when you're in a pissed off mood, that's pretty much all you'll see. Life becomes very urgent. When you are stressed out because you've got a whole bunch of stuff going on, you will know about that, because everything around you now is colored with that stress. And you will also know about that because your life will be very busy. What I've started to notice is that I don't do less with my day now, and I don't actually want to fill it up with lots of stuff. I used to travel, and I used to be like have ants in my pants. And I see this with my clients, is they're busy, 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 busy. Because that's their way of quietening their mind, that they don't have to be with those thoughts. But the more you can see that what's creating that experience is that, and that you shouldn't be afraid of it, then there's no reason to be so busy. Because actually, busy is very counterproductive to effectiveness. I don't know about you, but there are days that I get specific things done, and I get more done in that day than I did rushing around getting loads of stuff done. So effectiveness isn't about how much you get done in the day. It's more about how much space you create in your head for it. Because when you don't have much going on up there, creativity becomes effortless. Creation becomes effortless. What you do becomes effortless. You somehow seem to meet the right people in the right moment. You tend to feel that all of those things that used to be a drag now isn't anymore. And so you get a lot more done in a shorter amount of time than you would when you have a busy head, because it's the busy head that stops us from creating that.